This is Carl at National RV Detroit. I'm going to walk you through this 2018 Wildwood travel trailer, and the model number is 27 DBK. Okay, so this is a how-to video, so I'm going to walk you through the trailer and show you some of the features and how they work, okay? So here we are, we're on the door side rear, so we'll start there. You've got a swing around grill, of course, and you have to plug that grill in to that quick connect LP fitting right there to get gas, okay? So to use that grill you got to plug it in, of course. You have power stabilizers, extend and retract. They come down. You never lift the trailer with them, of course, you're just stabilizing. So you got one switch controls both rear, and then the switch up front controls both front. They do come down at a different time, or they don't come down evenly, that's typical, so usually the far one will come down first. Okay, so you have a outside kitchen here. Let me see what we got here. So you have a refrigerator, of course. You have a pull-out sink right here. So you do have running water and some power, that sort of thing. So that combined with the grill, you got a pretty good outside kitchen. Okay, and you have a power awning with LED strip. Okay, outside speakers. You have some power here. This is your water heater. The thing to remember about the water heater is never run it without water in it. Right now it's drained because it's winterized, right? So this takes an 1 1/16 6-point socket, and that's where it goes right there. That's the drain plug slash anode rod. Also, you have this switch right here. It's a rocker switch, on and off. That controls the electric heating element that's behind this cover right here. So to turn on the electrical heating element, you got to flip that switch. Always make sure there's water in the water heater tank before you turn it on, of course. This has also got a gas burner, so you can light it on gas from inside. I'll show you where that's at. So it runs on both gas and electric, and it's a 6-gallon tank. Okay. Okay. So this is the service panel for the refrigerator. You always want this hanging out like that, so the condensation drains outside the trailer. This is the fresh tank fill. So, I mean, the most common way to get water to the trailer is through the city water hookup, but if you're camping someplace that doesn't have plumbing on the campsite, or is more of a rustic boondocking situation, you can pre-fill your fresh water tank and then use the onboard pump to pump the water. All the plumbing will work as though you have city water, but you'll just be drawing it from the tank. Okay. This vent right here is the vent for the range hood. Keep in mind there's a baffle in here. You can lock it, you can close it or leave it open, but when you're venting, you always want to open it up so it vents to the outside, okay? This is, I think I might have just mentioned, that's your furnace vent. Switch for your front stabilizers. This is just a hookup in case you wanted to get a solar panel to charge the battery. It's a portable panel. That's all that's for. This particular one is made by Zamp. Also you have your hitch here. This is a Husky Centerline weight distribution hitch with built-in sway control. We'll show you how to operate it when you pick up. It's a good hitch. You can back up with it and all that sort of thing. You have your cranks here. Keep in mind that if you need this is your power tongue jack here. If it ever fails on you, you can pull this plug from the top, and you can actually use one of those cranks to crank it manually to get yourself out of trouble. So you always have that option. You have a deep cycle marine battery. These are the brackets for your hitch. Two LP tanks with a regulator. They're all both full. Power tongue jack with a hitch light. All right. Come around to the other side. Still just the other side of the pass-through storage. This is your dump hose and a reducer for your shore cord. Okay. Moving on. This is your shore cord, obviously. It's a 30 amp cord, 30 feet long. All right. This is your city water hookup right here. So that's the most common place to get water to the trailer, the common way to get it. You have your dump valves here. You can see one over here, that away. You have your low point drain, so that's all right here. This is just cable and satellite through to the inside of the trailer. It's pre-wired for a backup camera. And keep in mind the manufacturer states every 90 days or so you should inspect your roof, so you always want to go up there and make sure everything's in good shape, okay? No cracking or separation, no damage from low branches, that sort of thing. Okay, so this is for your awning, I believe, and I think it has other functions too. Let me look here. Main slide, awning. So yeah, it's just a remote basically. You can also have your switches here, your slide out switch here, your awning switch here. Keep in mind to never leave the awning out when the trailer's unattended. If you're not going to be there, always roll it in. Your water pump right here. Use the water pump to pump fresh water out of your tank. You also use it to winterize the trailer. This is where you light your water heater on gas, right there. There's the fault light there. I showed you the electric switch for the electric heating element is in the lower left hand corner outside. Then of course you have your levels here: battery, fresh water tank, black water tank, gray, and it graduates up. The LEDs graduate up in 1/3 increments. So once you get past 2/3, you got to start thinking about dumping your gray and your black tank. Just so you know, this is where you access your water pump and you actually would winterize the trailer from this behind this panel here. All right, so TV bracket. Now you have this is for your awning. This has got the type of awning where you can change the color of the lights and make it do different things. That's what this is right here. This one right here is for your sound. Okay, so what we have is plays CDs and DVDs. Has an AM/FM radio. It has Bluetooth, so you can stream wirelessly from your phone or your tablet. USB slot, so you could take all your albums on one USB stick, for example, and take them with you. SD card slot. 3 speaker zones. A is this room, B is in the bedroom, and then C would be outside. So it pretty much does everything you need, considering you're camping. Of course, you can hang a TV here too if you choose. If you do, this is where the TV would hook up at, the coax would hook up at, and this green tells us that the digital signal booster for the antenna is on. You always want that on when you're using the antenna. You can shut it off, but you won't get good sound or good pictures, so you always want that on when you're using the antenna. Your refrigerator is a gas absorption refrigerator. It's made by Dometic, and it runs on LP gas or 110 AC. So basically you turn it on right here, right? Then you have these mode switches right here. Right now it's on auto, if you can see that. Auto is generally where you want to have it. Auto means electrical, or electrical. Auto means electricity. It's just regular shore power, 110 AC. So the trailer will always seek out electricity first. If it finds it, it uses it. If it doesn't find it, it'll automatically switch over to gas. That's why they call it automatic. Just that electricity takes parameters over gas. So another scenario is you leave early in the morning on a hot day to go out exploring for the day, and an hour after you leave, the campground power goes out. Well, it would sense that and automatically switch over to gas, so you don't spoil your food. So it's good to leave it on auto, but you can put it on gas just like that, and run it strictly on gas. But if you don't have 110, it'll end up on gas anyway. All right. One other feature. This cable you see coming up onto this clip and that little cylinder sticking out of the top, that's the thermistor. It'll come right off. You can pull that clip off. If it ever comes loose, you just put it back together and stick it on that fin there. But as you can see, the sticker tells you the higher you go with the thermistor, the colder it gets in the refrigerator. So generally speaking, you're going to have it up as high as it'll go. I mean, if it starts getting cool out, you know, late in the fall or something like that, you might have to back it down a bit. But just about always you're going to have it up all the way. Okay, so microwave works like any other microwave. This is the range hood range hood fan and light that I told you about. Remember I told you about the baffle on the outside that you always want to make sure it's flapping freely to vent to the outside. Your range is, I don't know if he's got the gas on right now, we'll see. If not, I'll just talk you through it. I don't hear it. No. But anyway, you're just going to go to light, and this is the sparker. You turn the sparker clockwise to spark it. So that you're just going to turn it on light. You got 3 burners and 3 knobs. Then you have your oven knob. So this oven has never been used, not even once it looks like, which we see all the time. It's not uncommon. But back there's a pilot light. So you need a grill lighter with a long neck on it. And basically what you're going to do is you're going to go to the oven knob here. You go to pilot and then depress it. You keep it depressed during the whole lighting procedure, right? So then you light it with the lighter down there, and after the flame lights on the pilot light, you still hold this in for another 10 or 15 seconds to heat up the thermocouple. Once you do that, you go to operating temperature and it cycles as an oven does. When you shut it off, the flame goes out, of course, but so does the pilot light. So you have to relight the pilot light each time you use the oven. Okay. Let's see. This is obviously self-explanatory. This is all your paperwork in here. Like it says, always have this down when you bring the slide room in, of course. This is carbon monoxide LP gas detector. It should always be green. If it's not, get it serviced. It's important. This is your power converter right here. So when you're plugged in, this will take your regular shore power, 110 AC, just like you have at home. You got circuit breakers here like you have at home, and they're all labeled, right? So this is kind of the distribution center. Then the power sent over here, and it's converted to 12 volt DC. So you got 12 volt fuses here, and they're all labeled. That's where the 12 volt comes from. Also, this is a battery tender. So it'll sense how much energy your battery needs up front. As long as you're plugged in, it will keep your battery charged. It'll trickle or send as many amps as it needs to keep it charged, okay? When you're pulling it down the trailer down the road, your tow vehicle's alternator will be charging the battery. So 2 different ways it charges. Okay. Let's see what else we have here. This is the bedroom is pretty typical. You have TV hookups here and a place to hang a bracket. You see there's a backer sticker there. Emergency windows. If you come back to we'll come back to here, your thermostat's real simple. You just hit the mode button and go through them. If they give you the option of using the fan, of adjusting the fan speed, always choose auto. That's the best way to go. Alright, so your sink and the shower work like any other sink and shower. Your toilet is an RV toilet, so you can't use it dry. It sits right over the black tank. So you have a flush pedal. Let's see if you can see it here, right here. Right? So when you get to the campground, you hook up your power and your water. You'll come in here, you'll dump 1 dose of chemical right in the bowl. Then you'll step on the pedal and let water swirl around and go into the black tank below. You hold it long enough to put about 1 gallon of water in there. It doesn't have to be exact. Some people use more than 1 gallon. It's up to you. But the main thing is you have to have chemical and water in the black tank before you start using it. Otherwise the smell will be terrible and it can get clogged up also. So you always want to, when you're starting off with a dry black tank, you always want to put chemical and water in there, okay? That's important. This is a GFCI here. All the plugs in the trailer are wired to a GFCI, so even the one on the outside. So this is where you reset it. And of course you have a vent up here. I don't know what this is still doing here. It's like you got some some flowers growing here. Well, plastic ones anyway. So, okay, so let's see. Does this come up here? Yeah, the half of that bottom bunk will fold up so you can use that area for storage if you need to. All right. You have, I guess, I haven't looked through the whole thing, but it looks like you got 4.1 surround sound, right? You have 4 speakers, and then I believe behind here somewhere is a woofer, I believe. I can't swear to it. I didn't prep the trailer, but there's a good chance that that's what's there. So this is for your antenna right here. You don't have to, you don't raise it and lower it. You just rotate it. So keep that in mind. Smoke detector. Okay, this is a jackknife sofa, so it'll jackknife flat and turn into a bed. The table, you can drop the tabletop down to the cleats around the benches and drop the cushions in there so you can turn this into a bed too. So you got, you have 2 bunks plus 2 beds here plus the master, so you got a lot of sleeping room. Okay. All right, so I think that does it. So I want to thank you for purchasing your trailer here at National RV Detroit. Please remember what I said about inspecting your roof. It's a good thing to do. Make sure there's no damage to the roof by low branches or road debris or anything. So make sure you do that. And right now, this trailer is winterized, so basically the water's been purged from the system and replaced with antifreeze. The water heater is bypassed and empty, so it's all set for the winter. Okay, thank you.